Yo, what's up? We are now outside my home, and I've been busy driving MC Hammer, my Tesla Model 3 Performance. But behind me here I have the Polestar, and did you guys hear about it? Polestar, they had to recall the cars because of problems. So you heard it here first in my channel. You heard the fresh news here. But because of that, I wasn't sure whether I should drive it or not. It's been standing here for, whoa, actually a long time now. Almost a week, or at least 4 or 5 days, not in use. But I figured, okay, let's just go for it. Hopefully it's not gonna happen. I mean, I did drive this Polestar a lot. I drove it to the Arctic Circle and back again and did some tests. So yeah, and okay, if it happens, the car will, you guys know what happens, right? The car will lose power, and then it will go into neutral, and I can safely find a place to stop. Hopefully it doesn't happen inside a tunnel uphill. But okay, let me show you guys. So it's been parked here and it's been raining a lot, but yeah, maybe the brakes. Whoa, let me see, let me adjust that. There, okay. Yellow brake calipers with matching yellow brake disc. Well, is that a feature? What about on this side? Let me increase the okay, no, it's too bright. Okay, I have to adjust it down here. See? Oh, is that what they call Swedish gold? Yeah. Maybe I should drive it more often. But you know, just because the fear of something happening, then I don't drive. I asked iMove, who owns this car, if they have been contacted by Polestar, but they haven't. They also contacted Polestar, and Polestar hasn't responded yet. So let's just go for it. So let's prepare now. So it should be at 90. I think I actually left it with 100%. That was a big crime for me. No, actually it's not. I remember I did drive it a little bit, so it's down to 93%. So you want to charge it to 100% or actually close, and then we do the run. Well, it says charging is done at 93%, and it says limit set to 80%. You see, I thought I set it to 80%, but this is a bug, because it happens with many cars. You set it, but it doesn't work. So I remember before I parked it, it was actually at 100%, but then I guess there is actually some phantom drain, because I didn't document it, but I remember when I parked it before the weekend, it was at 100%. I was like, whatever, I don't have the time to deal with this. I had to go on my my road trip with my Model 3. But yes, we have to increase it to 100% again to charge it to 100%. So this is a weird bug. I hope they fix it. It's kind of annoying for people who don't want to charge to 100%. We are now at Circle K Furuset, juicing up. So we're at 95%. This is weird, because when I came here over 20 minutes ago, it was also at 95%, and we have added over 2 kilowatt hour to the car, but it's still stuck at 95%. So I've seen this weird behavior before with this car, which is that when I did the road trip to Arctic Circle and back again, I juiced up at the Chem Power Charger ESPA, and then I started driving. I remember I charged to 45%. But then after 20 kilometers at Minnesota, I noticed that I was still at 45%, but the car obviously used some energy. So it seems like the BMS on this car is a bit wacky. Is it just this one, this object, or is it for the whole class, meaning other Polestar 2 also? I don't know, but okay, I guess we will charge up a little bit more, and then we just start driving. So the plan now is to, okay, let me show you here. So we're here, Furuset, and the plan now is to drive north. I prefer this route. Okay, it's kind of repetitive and boring, but I prefer this route because it has little traffic, and it's raining a lot today. Let me show you here. I want to see worst case, real world scenario, worst case, when we cruise on the motorway at around 120 kilometers per hour, how thirsty is this car going to be? So the plan is to drive north until we hit around, I'm not sure how much, let's say we hit around 55%, yeah, roughly. Then we head back, and then we can, yeah, we don't have to end with 0%, we can come back here with 10% roughly. So then we can see how much energy do we use and how much battery. Oh yeah, another thing I want to measure, but it's kind of hard to measure, is how much energy do we actually have? Because I measured before on a nice day that we managed to pull out almost 73 kilowatt hour. But when I did the North Pole, I was about the North Pole trip, but when I went to the polar circle, and it was high consumption, it seems like we could only get around 66 kilowatt hour. That was weird. Yeah, but okay, it's funny. It's still stuck at 95%. Oh, well, maybe this computer runs Windows 95. All right, we unplugged now. The car still claims 95%, but if you look here, we have a lot of like region limit. This gray area here is not available region. So it could be because the battery is cold. I'm guessing the battery is close to ambient temperature, which should be around 10-15 degrees. Well, it's 12 now. It was warm in the daytime. Let's say, yeah, around 10-15 degrees Celsius. So we don't know the true state of charge. I was hoping for that when we unplug that it will recalibrate to 99% or whatever. So we have no idea really, but I'm going to reset the trip. This one is, yeah, we'll reset the trip and then off we go. Look guys, state of charge is suddenly 96%. I didn't pay attention. Maybe it was even 97% when we started. So, okay, all right. All right, we've been driving for 20 minutes. Consumption is 300 and yeah, almost 330 watt hour per kilometer. And it's raining cats and dogs outside. Look, yeah, pretty hefty rain. Well, actually, it's not the worst I've seen. It was forecasted to be around 2-3 millimeters, so not too heavy rain. But one thing I noticed is that I cannot use the auto steer, the pilot assist or whatever it's called. You see down here, out there, just there, you see. Now it's deactivated, now it's activated, but you see, it's not yellow. It needs to be yellow in order for it to be active. So on conditions like this, which is actually not that bad, you cannot use auto steer. I think I activated it once only randomly, then this disappeared again. So for the most trip, don't count on it. Tesla, on the other hand, I drove my Model 3 yesterday in also pretty similar rain, and it worked flawlessly, the auto steer. We could activate it, bloom bloom, and then off you go. Oh, it works now. Look, look, look. This is what it looks like when it's working. So it's yellow, and yeah, okay, it works now. It didn't work for the longest time. All right, we have just turned around at Tangen, and you see we have 54% now. I turned around when I had 57%, so I don't want to go too deep. So consumption is 312 watt hour per kilometer. To my big surprise, it wasn't higher. I was expecting 350, but that was with e-tron when I did some similar driving conditions. So yeah, okay, not too bad. So you see, right now we are kind of far north, and we are going to go back to the starting point at Furuset, and then we see then how much consumption we have and how much energy we have. And it's been raining like this, wet all the road until here, so that's good. This is a pretty good real world test. So I have an idea. Why don't I go back home afterwards, grab MC Hammer and do the exact same test tonight with MC Hammer? I want to see the difference in efficiency and yeah, how it is. So let's get back to Furuset and then we swap cars. We are back at Furuset now. I recorded all the trip data. Now let's get MC Hammer and then we show you the result here afterwards. We are now back here with MC Hammer ready to go. And right now we have 85%, charging at 21 kilowatt. Doesn't matter too much because 86 now. The car estimates that we'll arrive over there with 60%, really? And then round trip, we will end up here with 36%. Okay, let's get going then. We are now on the run. And man, is it quiet in here. So quiet. I'm using Frigus EV winter tires, studless. And okay, I don't remember this tarmac here, if it's new or old, I don't remember. But look at this consumption. I'll show you here. There. 229. We have gone uphill. Damn! Yeah. Oh well. And what else is it to report? Nothing to see, nothing to see. Okay. Yeah, it just feels more quiet. Okay, and also I have Rain-X on the windshield, so I don't have to wipe. Yeah, that's it. That's why this car is more efficient, because the wipers are not running. Okay, and look, we are using autopilot. The system works flawlessly, even in the rain. I experienced this many times. Sometimes when it's raining heavily, I can't even see the road, but the autopilot works like a charm. And look, I can even use auto lane change with no problemo. Okay, huh? You like that shit? Like that shit? Let's go back. Oh wait. Okay, I have to hold. Auto lane change is available, huh? Okay, it was because of that double line, you see? Now it works. Yeah. Huh? Hmm? Damn. Well, what do we have here? That iconic backlight there is from a Polestar. Okay. Man, how much juice are you burning right now, buddy? Well, that's some nice lights though. Yeah, you like that? You like that, bud? Huh? Yeah. Cool. Just happened to run into one over here. All right. We are now at the turnaround point here in Tangen. So consumption so far is 241. All right. Then we have to go back, and there's also a little bit of downhill on the way. So far so good. It's still raining a lot, just like the previous run. So I have to say that the weather conditions on this run and the previous one is more or less the same. Well, let's try the light again. Boom! Oh, okay. Yeah, works great, even in the rain. Yeah. Want to see the road, and also by the road, whatever stuff is by the road. Like this, boom. Yeah, good shit. We are back here at Furuset. So now I did some measurement. Let me show you the difference here. Polestar reported 300 watt-hour per kilometer, and then the Tesla reported 235 watt-hour per kilometer. But Polestar has the correct measurement, 185 kilometers. That's the real distance. And then the Tesla over-reported, claims it's 189 kilometers. So we draw the exact same route, no detour, nothing. So you see, it's actually 2% error on the Tesla. And that means that the real consumption on the Tesla is 240 before losses. So we have 240 versus 300. But okay, then let's look closer. Polestar reports 115 kilometers per hour average speed. But if you do the math, based on the time and the distance, it's actually 112. So I don't know why, but Polestar over-reports average speed. And then as for the Tesla, it doesn't show average speed, but I calculated it's 113 kilometers per hour. So it was faster because we had less traffic now later at night, but average speed on these two is more or less identical. And then percentage. So Polestar, we started with 97. We have to assume 97. We ended up with 16%. So we have to spend 81% on this route. And then the Tesla started with 87%, ended up with 20%, and we spent only 67%. And okay, and then if we look at energy available based on high load, the Polestar managed to get or pull out only 68.8 kilowatt hour now today versus 72.8 that I measured if you have lower load. So that means we have 6% loss. And then the Tesla today I got only 66.3 kilowatt hour, and then I measured 68.5 kilowatt hour before on a nice day with lower consumption. And then the Tesla today had 3% loss. So 3% loss versus 6% loss, that is pretty huge. And what is this loss, by the way? Imagine if you're walking, right? And then if you start running, after a while you will sweat, and you sweat because you get warmer. And that's because the human body is a fairly inefficient machine. So when the load is higher, you're running, you produce more heat. And the same thing is with the battery. When the battery works harder, discharge higher rate, it will produce more heat. And then I guess it's different because the Tesla, even when it works harder, it only has 3% loss versus 6% loss, but the power output on the Polestar was higher. All right, anyway, okay, and then what else did we find out? Yeah, based on the percentage here that we actually spend, or based on the loss, I calculated that the real consumption of the Polestar was 319. And then for the Tesla, you have to take the 240, you have to correct for distance. The real consumption for Tesla was 247. 247 versus 319. Wow, is that almost 50%? Well, okay. And then as for range, so the Polestar today, wet day, would be able to drive 228 kilometers. And then for the Model 3, my car, it was 276, but I have a small modification. I have mud flaps, I don't have the aerodynamic rims, well, yeah. And also I have 6% degradation. So if you try the new car performance, it would be 294 kilometers of range. And then with a non-performance, probably over 300 kilometers. But of course, with the Polestar, if we didn't use the PP, it should be maybe 250 consumption. And then we can say, well, but the difference here is I use studless winter tires and the Polestar was still on summer tires. Maybe my tires are better. Well, I use cheap Chinese tires. Maybe the tires are better. It can't be, right? Cheap Chinese stuff is never good. Okay, and the last thing is that we did charging test. So I did charge Polestar for 5 minutes, and then we read the charger screen because the car doesn't show you charging speed inside. Yeah, and then so I managed to pull out 8.56 kilowatt hour after 5 minutes, and that equals to 98 kilowatt if we subtract 5% loss, charging loss in the battery. And then the Model 3 was faster, obviously faster. You can see in the charging screen, it was topping at 135 kilowatts. And then average for the 5 minute for Model 3 was 133 kilowatts. So you see on paper, Polestar is supposed to take 150 kilowatts, or at least 130, but it didn't because the battery was too cold. And then on paper, the Model 3 should be able to pull 150 kilowatts from here, but because of cold weather, it couldn't get it, but at least it managed to average way higher speed. So, yeah, very interesting test, by the way. So this is the kind of stuff that the car journalist won't tell you when they compare a Model 3 versus a Polestar. And the Polestar is brand spanking new, whereas my Model 3 is 1.5 years old and has done 70,000 kilometers. So there's actually slightly more. The battery has worn out a little bit. We have slightly more internal resistance, which means slightly more losses. So of course, I would even get the better result if I use brand spanking new Model 3. But okay, so interesting. Yeah, I don't know what you guys think, but based on these numbers I've seen here, it means that the drivetrain in the Model 3 is just superior when it comes to compared to Polestar. Polestar, I mean, it's a nice car. It has nice comfort. But when it comes to drivetrain and efficiency and charging speed, the stuff that actually matters for many people, not everyone, but for some people, then the Model 3 is just in a completely different league. So I think that's going to be it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching and talk to you later. And let the keyboard warrior fight begin in the comment section.